Welcome to Cantina Vizsla. For the safety of the bartenders and any other patrons, remember to keep all arms, legs, tentacles, or any other extremities you may have to yourself at all times. So come right in, grab a drink, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Coming to you from the Panic Room in the crap part of the cantina, I'm Sparrow. And with me, as always, is a man who some say only gears characters if his cats tell him it's okay. All I know is I call him Stan.
Yeah, they give me pretty good advice, but also, I'm not going to be happy until my boss calls me Stando.
Oh, really? You're going with Stando?
Yeah, there you go. It's short for the Standalorian.
Just the Standalorian? All right. I mean,
There you go.
you can go with that one. Oh, man. It has been a good couple weeks here in Star Wars. Finally getting news within the game. Actually, I shouldn't say finally getting news within the game. More like seeing what was announced actually showing up in the game. We have a whole bunch of trailers, or added clips, I should say, for the next movie. You have The Mandalorian, a couple more episodes of that. So it is a good time to be a Star Wars fan.
Oh, so is Jedi Fallen Order. Can't forget that one.
Oh, yeah.
Resistance still going strong. Books. Star Wars, pretty popular.
Yeah, no, there's a little bit of popularity around it. Little things.
Yeah. Little small indie film.
That's right. What have you been doing outside the game, though?
Oh man, it's been Thanksgiving here in the States. We had Black Friday, so had to go travel, see family, eat way too much food, go shopping, the standard stuff. But other than that, it's about a week or so. Speaking of Fallen Order, I did finish that one up, and great game, absolutely fantastic, highly recommended. Go get it, it's fun.
Awesome. I have not gotten into it. I haven't even touched the Xbox yet. I'm trying to stay away. Just other stuff going on, and I know if I go through and turn that on, download it, that is where all my free time is going, and I will not do a single thing other than that.
That's an accurate statement. That is what happened to me. When I was not involved with family stuff or playing Xbox, I was just vegging out, watching all kinds of TV. Let's see.
Well, speaking of TV, what were you watching?
Yeah, well, Mandalorian, watch that. I guess, are we gonna still do the same thing? We talk about all the Star Wars stuff at the end of the show.
Yeah, I think that's going to be safer for everybody, and it kind of goes a little bit better. So let's do that.
Okay, well, we'll talk about the Baby Yoda show featuring the Mandalorian later. Toys That Made Us came back out, season 3, covering, let's see, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which was a staple of my adolescence, and WWF toys or wrestling toys, My Little Pony, and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So a little bit for everybody this season.
Huh. Very nice.
Yeah, I just love that show. I like hearing all the just kind of the seat of the pants decisions that turned into just these huge phenomenon. It's awesome.
Yeah, and also, like, it always amazed me with, like, Lego on how close they were to not being a thing and how close it was to them being shut down, to seeing just, like, one license deal go through and completely change a whole company.
Yeah, it's just that the whole behind-the-scenes stuff's pretty cool. It's kind of similar to that. I started watching the Imagineering on Disney Plus, kind of behind the scenes on making Disneyland and making Disney World and the engineers and all that behind it. So that was pretty cool too.
Yeah, I just started watching that. I started watching the first episode of that. That is also very interesting, and just like you, I prefer that backstory and figuring out how things came about.
Yeah, just real cool. Yeah, how about you? How's your Thanksgiving and all that been?
Oh, it was craziness running around. Had friends in, so going out doing stuff with them, and then of course I go through and procrastinate to the last minute to cook or do anything for Thanksgiving. So all Thanksgiving, Wednesday morning into Thanksgiving morning, making bread, pumpkin pie, and everything like that, up until the very last second. Because, you do everything ahead of time, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So that happened, and just family in. So a lot of running around. Yesterday, which was Saturday, was the last football game, Penn State football game of the season, and a nice cold high of 30-degree weather. So that was lovely. Kind of glad that is over with. Going to be able to take a little bit more time getting things around on the weekends. But then other than that, I've been watching the Great British Bake Off. I don't know how I got down that rabbit hole, but I have, and it is many seasons long, and I just sit there and go, I want that cake, I want that bread, I want those biscuits. Yeah, it is bad, and it is absolutely hilarious if you start listening to it, because it's 100% complete British comedy about baking and a whole bunch of innuendos all over the place, because they hate soggy bottoms. They make sure that your fingers aren't sticky. They want them lubed up and pressed down firm all the way to the bottom. It is...
Oh, my.
Yes. They ask how big their organs are going to be. It is going through. You're like, oh, it's just a breaking show. And then you start listening to the comments, and you're like, oh, yeah, this is great.
I mean, I like all those things, so I might have to give it a shot. Speaking of innuendos, did you complete anything? Did you reach completion?
Yes, I did.
On any characters?
Yes. Well, it depends on how you define completion. Because
if you don't know, there's some disappointed people.
Yes, there's no Relic 7s, but
speak for yourself.
In my world, it is completed. There is completion that has happened for the time being, because it is going to allow me to attempt the General Anakin Skywalker event. So I finally got Shaak Ti to 7 stars, and to go along that, we heard the news of the Rebel Assault. So I took her up to Gear 12. And I wasn't planning on doing this because of General Anakin Skywalker's leadership and the team built around him, but I kind of have to now for territory battles. Double Zeta'd Shaak Ti.
Nice. I mean, we could have seen this coming with the famous scene that Shaak Ti had in the prequel movie, right?
Yeah, I just...
Nothing.
But... It was one of those things you kind of hold off as long as possible. Then you see it happening. And you're like, all right, well, I knew it was coming, but I was hoping that it was going to be Mace instead of Shaak Ti, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, we'll touch on that a little bit later.
And then
got another good finish here.
Finally, the long grind, long grind. The Emperor Shuttle. It's finally 7 stars.
Very nice.
And that is putting me super close right now to 5 million GP. I'm at 498 right now.
Oh, okay.
We'll talk about it later. I have a couple things that I could get unlocked very quickly here that would definitely put me up over that 5 million GP. But what did you do?
Okay, well, I'm like you. I was just kind of prepping for the Galactic Offensive. Went ahead and, like you, could put that Leader Zeta on Shaak Ti because we kind of have to. Took her up to Gear 13, too, because there's that sneaky little power requirement.
Oh, yeah.
And she needs some friends, so I took Rex and Echo up to Gear 13.
They're growing.
They are, and I've put that other Zeta on 5s. Gave him the Domino Squad Zeta.
All right.
And I finished the ship too. Got a Vulture done. And that's extra nice because I don't have to worry about a crew member.
Yeah, I mean, did you go through and put all the ship abilities on them?
Yeah, done. Max.
Very nice.
6 months when I have a fleet to put them with, it'll be a great payoff.
Yeah, we'll go through and see how that actually turns out here in a little bit, because I have been following that very closely. But before we get there, let's go into our community shoutouts completion.
Yeah, they let's see, had some good ones here too. Ula Caldroma, he finished up Relic 7, 3 characters: Jedi Knight Anakin, General Kenobi, and Boss.
Oh man,
Yeah,
he doesn't need to train harder. Yeah, that is. There are alarm bells going off for people going up against him. Jeez.
Yeah. So that's awesome. Congrats on that. And Garth Big Dog got his Shock T up to 7 stars, and there for a few hours and got to drink out of the retired farmer coffee cup until they released the ARC Trooper that afternoon.
And probably Vulture Droid.
Nah, he
already had
done.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Good work. But yeah, I don't even want to know, like, I can't imagine going against the Houndstooth with the Relic 7 Bosk.
Yeah.
Oh man. He's a pain as it is to go through and try to get around, let alone being at Relic 7. Jeez.
Yeah, it's on my list of, like, luxury relics if I ever get that. I think he's gonna be on my short list to do just for fun.
And it doesn't sound like you're gonna get there with the new territory battle. But before we get there, how have you been making out in Grand Arena?
Okay. Not setting the world on fire or anything. I actually just got up to Erodium today. So, yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say I've been watching your progress, and it hasn't been.
I mean, I feel like I'm doing okay. I'm winning more than I have been in the past, but I guess it's just not enough. I must train harder.
Yeah, that's right.
I still don't have what it takes. I must train harder.
But yeah, I've been battling a little bit differently, honestly. I've been going through. I decided I was gonna focus down and try to hit Kyber. Right now, with 2 battles left, I'm sitting at 30,000. So I need like I think it's 5,500 left in 2 battles, so it should be super close. And of course, this round, I just went through and complete mental breakdown. We were talking about it beforehand. I went through and it went up against a negotiator fleet and just, got wiped. Not even, played horribly against it. Did not do well. Just, I don't even know. And then going through, I went through against their Darth Revan team and left Malik and was able to get through him. So it's like, feeling pretty good. And then kind of got cocky. I got cocky against some Geos.
Don't get cocky, kid.
Yeah, I did. I went through and I was like, all right, I used Darth Nihilus to get rid of Malik, and now I'm just going to go through and just use Traya and Darth Sion to go up against these Geos. And first thing is, probably should have put in Count Dooku or someone else in there just to kind of soak up a little bit more damage. Also, should have been paying attention to the feats and thrown Finn and First Order Executioner in there. Did not do that, like a fool. And of course they somehow go through, and they're only gear 12, went through and took out my Darth Sion. I have defeated Geos that have 2 and 3 Geos at gear 13 with like relic 3 and 4 on them, so it's like I didn't feel like they were overly powered, but they managed to do it, and that was pretty much the end of my Grand Arena, because I went through and was like, yep, that's going to be pretty much a death nail right there.
Yeah, it's one of those teams, if they get out of hand, like they just come back with a vengeance.
Yeah, and I really didn't have a secondary counter. I have my Treya team set up to counter those Geos and do not have any other team to set up to counter them, and just did not happen. So that was ugly and left me kind of kicking myself because I wasn't able to clear that zone, wasn't able to get that feat. So it's putting me behind the 8 ball in this last round. But we will see. It will all go away. If I do hit Kyber, I really would not matter at all to me. So happy with that if I get there. Otherwise, I will be kicking myself dearly for that horrible, horrible misplay on my part.
Well, there's always next time.
Yeah.
There'll always be another.
Yeah, especially since we're getting more points apparently now.
Yeah.
But speaking of next time, why don't you give us some highlights of the calendar?
All right. So we just hit December 1st. We're recording today. Got a whole month out ahead of us. Kylo Ren Unmasked is the login character. Appropriate, considering we got sequel trilogy stuff coming out at the end of the month. 19 days. I'm so excited.
19 days? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, 18 if you're seeing it on the 19th.
Yeah.
Like. So we got that coming up. We're in the middle of Emperor's Demise, or as I like to call it, any of these events destroys my mod inbox.
Yeah, it might. Well, for us, it won't be coming to an end, but them being on the calendar might be coming to an end.
Yeah. But we'll go through. We got Rebel Assault coming up, or Republic Offensive if you're a glutton for punishment like we are. End of the week's looking kind of light. I guess they're going to kind of see how this territory battle plays out.
No. We'll go into that later. I think we're going to be seeing. This is kind of I think December is going to be the switch, and we're going to start seeing more content. And I think that might be the start of it.
I hope so. They have been talking about it a lot, so we will see. So we got some territory wars coming up. Really nothing jumping out. The whole middle of the month though is real light. So you may be onto something.
Like I said, they've had a long time to prepare for this. They have been teasing these new movies. I think we're going to see a lot of stuff coming out. I mean, we might not be seeing events, but we'll at least be. I think we'll be seeing new characters, reworks, and new teams to be able to use for both Territory Wars and Grand Arena.
Yeah, I think you're right, because after the 20th, whenever the movie does come out, the rest of the month is jam-packed. Like, everything just kicks back off again. So I think you're right. Maybe we'll get some marquee events for Hux and Sith Trooper.
Yeah, I mean, they did mention about pretty much confirmed that those were coming out. I would imagine we're going to be seeing some resistance. So I'm thinking the next couple weeks are going to be Sith Trooper, Hux. I think we're going to be seeing some reworks or touch-ups for both Resistance and First Order characters. I do not know what Resistance characters they would bring in, but I can't imagine them not coming in. That's for sure.
Jaina will probably get maybe another version of Poe. In his Uncharted outfit. We've got Zori Bliss can come in. We've got Dominic's character. Old Lando.
Yeah. They could even bring in some more ships. Possibly capital ships. That would be nice for both First Order and Resistance. Now, question, do you think we're going to get... Let's see here. So we pretty much have blocked off December and January for these new movies. Do you see us getting First Order in December and then switch over to Resistance, or do you see a mix?
I kind of see a mix. But if they are going to do it they'll probably do First Order first, simply because it's in the name, and also since Kylo's the login character, that would kind of make sense.
That is my thought also. The thing that I could see it being a mix, in which I'm kind of questioning is, do you think we're going to go through and see reworks and teams created for both Resistance and First Order here very quickly before the movies come out? That way because I'm sure there's going to be a commercial before this movie for Galaxy of Heroes trying to bring new players into the game. And to me, it makes sense that you would go through and kind of rework these teams and actually make them viable for those new players coming in, thinking, hey, I just saw the new movie. I want these characters. Let's go ahead and get them and gear up those teams.
Yeah, that would make sense, especially for a new player. You don't want them to, start learning the mechanics of the game and then change it on them midway. That might go against what they want to do.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking these first few weeks might be a whole bunch of reworks for First Order and Resistance. Resistance might have some nesting doll mechanics for new characters coming in, but First Order would have Hux and Sith Trooper coming right in. That would make them viable right away, and you can actually see what's going on with them. But kind of mentioning that, unlike new players coming in, they did talk about this hyperdrive bundle. Ooh.
Yeah.
It seems to tie in along very nicely with everything coming in. What do you... I mean, it has to be a decent thing. From what I've heard from them talking, it seems like it's going to go through this bundle, will immediately take a player right up to 85. Seems like it would give them decent gear, credits, mats. Almost sounds like it would give them even some characters to be able to like build a team. Like it goes through and you get like a random drop of 5 characters to build a actual sort of meta team. I wouldn't even say meta team. Like you would get like a Resistance team, a First Order team, maybe a Jedi team, Phoenix, something like that. Team built all together, and it would allow access to one of the legendary characters. Kind of like a shortcut where you can get one legendary character, gets you up to level 85, and gets you enough credits to be able to get that character.
I think maybe even more than one legendary character. I kind of see this as really a catch-up mechanic. Kind of like, a MMORPG or Destiny, whenever they have their newest content comes out, they basically make everything up to that point free or very, very cheap. So new players can come in and automatically start playing with their friends. And this has got to be what they're trying to do with this. I'm really interested to see what exactly is in it and how much it's going to cost. Like it cannot be like more than like a cost of a normal game. It's got to be just stupid cheap.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a feeling it's going to be something like $100.
I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be more than 50. To be perfectly honest with you, because and I could be wrong.
Now,
don't
get me wrong. From what you're saying there and being $50, I certainly hope that is the case. I really want that to be the case. Seeing their pricing and seeing how much it is to take. What, you buy that $100 pack for Relics. How many characters did that get to Relic 7? 2? 1?
Right. And that's just it. You can't look at this in comparison to other content because it's not designed to be that. It's designed to get a player that downloads this game off their phone, sitting in the theater waiting for Rise of Skywalker, like you said. They see the ad and they're like, okay, this is a neat little game. And then they go into it. Well, hell, I can't do anything yet because I don't have any characters. According to this journey guide, I need this, this, and this. Okay, well, I can get this bundle for $20, $50, whatever, and play this game. Then it's comparable to a normal game. Anything more than that, they're going to delete that app and never look back.
Yeah,
a person that doesn't play isn't invested. They have no concept of the economy of the game. Like you mentioned, $100 buys you two maybe one character, Relic 7 or 2 Gear 13 pieces.
Yeah,
$100
that's
is
about it.
nothing in this game. But to a new player coming in, they're not going to spend that much on a game they don't even play yet.
Yeah, like I said, I certainly hope that's the case. I hope it is that amount of money. Somewhere between $40 and $60, I think, would price it competitively within the mobile market. At least to bring up players like that, I think it would entice players to go through and purchase those packs and actually get a boost very quickly. Because, I mean,
Right.
everything is level cap, so that would get you into both light side and dark side battles. That would give you Cantina. That would get you ships. That would get you Galactic War. Along with ships, it would go through and give you Mace, Akbar, Endurance, Home 1. I think even Tarkin and the Executrix. So, I mean, just that pack would allow you to go through and very quickly get a whole bunch of characters real quick. Hopefully, at least one legendary event. So,
Yeah.
it sounds very nice. I'm hoping that's the case as far as price, and I think it would even entice players at a higher level, depending on the gear and mats that are available
absolutely,
with it,
yeah.
to go through and actually purchase it just for the shard shop currency, for the gear they need for their bottom end of their roster to bring that up.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Or even a scavenger material.
Oh, yeah. Very true. Which I'm hoping they fix that so you can actually craft gear even if you don't have a character at low end.
Yeah. So it does seem like we should get more information on this pretty soon. We should get more information on the journey guide and how that's going to work. And this is, again, we've been asking for this for years now, and it's really exciting to see them finally start implementing this stuff.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know how many times we brought it up as far as making it more accessible to the newer players, bringing them up to speed quicker, because all their new content, all their new packs are all geared to endgame players, and right now there is no way to speed up that early game to end game transition other than spending thousands upon thousands of dollars.
Right. That's unreasonable to ask at this point.
Correct.
Yeah. I'm sure some people will be upset if it's a lot, if it's pretty cheap and it gives a lot, a whole bunch of catch up. But yeah, I really don't care at this point if somebody gets a head start on the Phoenix meta or the Palpatine meta or whatever.
I don't think people would be upset as long as it doesn't include salvage pieces to take mods up to 5 dot to 6 dot and relic material. If it doesn't include those two pieces, I don't see people getting mad about it. All right, you got characters up to, say, Gear 12, and you have Zeta mats. That's not a big deal in the grand scheme of this game. Right now, everything's based on relic level and 6 dot mods. So I don't think there's going to be much of a backlash anymore. But that would definitely get you up into the current content and gets you into the most recent packs for new players to take them up to Gear 13, to put relics on them, to go through and purchase mod packs to get 6 dot mods. So it seems to me that would be a very good transition point to go from early game to end game with a pack.
Right. And anything that's going to increase the player base of the game, keep it lively, keep it active, that's good for all players.
Oh yeah, definitely. Speaking of some new content, we have this Republic Offensive coming out. Well, actually, before we get there, what did you think of the 4-year anniversary gear and crystals and everything that they gave us?
I like it.
Yeah.
I like free stuff. The double drops was nice.
Yeah, I thought it was great. It was a lot more gear than I thought. Double drops were good. they were good. I was able to go through it, saved up to double drops. I wish they would have put ARC Trooper in there during double drops and kind of gave us a little bit of a head start, but I
It would have
understand.
been nice, but
Yeah, I understand why they didn't, but I think it would have been nice for the 4-year anniversary going into new content that you at least, especially looking at the requirements for it. I think they could have thrown us a bone and let us get ARC Trooper at least start up a little bit quicker.
yeah, that's gonna be tough.
And
That it was kind of an interesting thing they did with the crystal sale. You know, we normally get a 25% bonus during this time, but they also kind of gave us a bonus on the next one and kind of encouraged people to buy multiple packs.
yeah. Yeah, I did not. I should have. I just wasn't paying attention to the timing, thought I had another couple days, and I did not. So I missed out on that, but
Yeah, I didn't buy any either.
I thought about it and I was going to, and I was like, oh, I'm going to get through Thanksgiving and then I'll purchase it because I thought it went to the end, basically went through Black Friday thinking they were going to have a Black Friday deal also, and it just did not pan out for me. So I'll go through and wait till Christmas probably and get something. But best reward was the 3 Chewy shards.
Yes, that was amazing. I love it.
Chewy continues.
He does. Chewie never ends.
That is right. And now it's time to get into this very offensive Republic offensive.
All right, let me bring this up because it's a lot of details here, but the short end of it is this isn't going to be a walk in the park.
Well, yeah, let's. So the requirements are ARC Trooper did get put on a Cantina node. I believe it's 5D or 5E, basically replacing Chewbacca.
Yeah, it's a 12 energy node, so it's not too bad.
Not terrible. It is obviously required for a special mission in order to get Ki-Adi-Mundi. It is actually, I think the only requirement is really ARC Trooper and Shaak Ti with any clone. So obviously, you're pretty much going to want Rex 5's Echo to go along with that team. It just doesn't make sense otherwise. We got the kit for Ki-Adi-Mundi, which looks interesting. It's one of those kits you look at and you're like, is that really going to work out? Or is that just a whole bunch of window dressing on there? And we also
People
got
were doing some of the math on it. Like, you can get some of these healers up to a pretty huge amount of health, which gives him a ton of offense under his lead, or with him in the team. So it could work out. There's some early theory and crafting going on. I'd love to see if it works out.
Yeah,
even like the return of Qui-Gon.
And I sure hope so, because I mean, this guy has a Zedong Qui-Gon Jinn.
There's a lot of people do
at Gear 11, so he is close enough to be able to bring him up and work into a team if that's the case. And we also got the Malevolence actually finally got put into the Get To store. Or Get store for token DOS currency. Now, let's get into the Republic offensive on how this looks.
Yeah, well, it's going to be 4 phases, just like the dark side one. Some of the ship stuff's going to be a little different. They're starting off with ships. So phase 1, you got some ships, you got a combat mission, and it's kind of weird here. We had a combat mission and a squadron mission. So I'm not sure what the difference on that's going to be. But they're just going to require pretty much 7-star characters across the board for everything in this.
Oh joy!
Yeah, but so ships are going to kind of be what it is.
I think you're forgetting the key part as far as this goes. So everything is required to be at 7 stars. Platoons require a specific character at 7 stars.
Yes, General Anakin Skywalker.
Because he's so easy to have at 7 stars, and no one would actually want to use him with clones or anything for a.
Yeah. Well, we had the same thing with Malik. It's not great. It's not surprising though.
The difference
So-
with Malik is that Malik does not go along with the theme of the territory battles, where General Anakin Skywalker actually plays a pretty big part in the Clone Wars and territory battles on Geonosian. So, thematically, it makes it a little bit rougher because he actually goes along with the actual teams that are required within the map.
Sorry, I was looking at their spreadsheet they listed for the platoons, trying to get a rough count, but
Yeah.
we'll come back to that.
But yeah, it goes through. It's like, yeah, Malik, I definitely agree. It was one of those things where you expected him in platoons, but General Anakin Skywalker, I understand him putting him in platoons, but it's just really rough when he just seems very thematically involved within this territory battles.
Yeah, and it's like all these territory battles at the beginning. It's gonna be so hard to make proper teams to run these.
Now, this is what's going to make it very difficult to create proper teams.
Yeah, well, let's just go by phase. We'll talk
Okay.
about the requirements for
All right.
each one. So we're still in phase 1. We're getting into ground combat now. The middle territory, you have 2 missions. One will require plain old light side characters, and then combat mission 2 will require 5 Jedi at 7 stars. So that's
At your Jedi
Okay.
Revan team, so okay, no big deal.
yeah. So we got that. What about your light side? What are you going to put in there?
Let's see here. Probably, so I'm gonna have Jedi Knight Revan. I'm gonna have a CLS team. So I mean, those are gonna be the main 2 there, and then I have my Shakti and clones all at Gear 12 with all the Zetas. So that'd be my 3rd team. Then Resistance with Jedi Training Ray. 4th team. And I think that's pretty much it for light side that I have
Yeah.
geared up ready to go.
Yeah, I'm looking at these normal light side, kind of like you, and whatever clone team's not required for that particular phase, but probably going to lean toward resistance. Yeah, I can't help but think whatever characters are being prepped right now are being designed with this in mind, or vice versa.
Oh, wait, I do have a few other teams here. Wow. Okay. I'm going to have a Kira Scoundrel team with Nest.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, kind of forget their light side.
yeah, I forgot Nest was light side for some reason. So, yeah, I'm going to have like Kira, Mission, Zalbar, Nest, and probably L3. I have a full Phoenix team at Gear 12 with all the Zetas, so I have them sitting there. I doubt the Ewoks will be any good, but I mean, I have a full Ewok squad at Gear 12 with Zetas.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Phoenix and Ewoks, that would be very interesting.
yeah, so I mean, I do have some options that are all sitting there at Gear 12 based on how they go, but yeah, those. So I do have 6, 7 teams that are at least at Gear 12 with Zetas ready to go. I have a feeling we're gonna need some relic levels to be able to
Oh, for
complete
sure.
these, but especially the later missions. But have a good.
Okay.
It seems like I have a good base, but that could all
Alright, so
change very quickly based on the difficulty.
All right, so you're good for combat mission 1, combat mission 2. You got your 5 light side characters, your 5 Jedi. All right, this ain't gonna be too bad. Special mission number 1: Padme and 4 other Galactic Republic characters at 7 stars.
I got Padme.
Okay, all right.
I got Padme, and I have Padme at Gear 13, Relic 4, General Kenobi at Gear 13, Relic 4. I got Ahsoka up there. So yeah, I am good with that team too.
All right, so keep in mind, we've used your 5 Jedi for Revan. You've used a couple more Jedi for your Padme team. Now we're getting to the bottom territory.
Yep.
We need 5 more light side characters at 7 stars. And then 5 more Jedi at 7 stars. This is the one where
5 more
Jedi
Jedi
can't
Ooh.
come fast enough.
5 more Jedi. Wow. Okay. Yeah. I am I don't got that.
Yeah, right now, yeah. I don't either.
I lose Ahsoka and Jedi Anakin for my Padme team, and then I have my Jedi Knight Revan team. I mean, I got a Zeta on my Qui-Gon Jinn. I mean, I could throw him in there.
Yeah, so this is where that theoretical Coyote-Mundi team comes in handy. So you'd have a Qui-Gon Jinn lead, then you'd have Coyote-Mundi, then you would have Barriss.
I got Barriss at Gear 12 with the Zeta, so yeah, I'm set there.
Yeah, and then Luminara and Jedi Consular, which nobody's using anywhere. So they're free. No,
they're at 8 and 9, so yeah, don't got them ready, but ew, okay.
But they're older characters. They shouldn't be too hard to gear up. So that's another positive there. But also you got to have Coyote-Mundi, and that's going to be months off.
But I mean, so. I got Mace Windu. I mean, obviously he goes along with his territory battles, and I have him at Gear 11, right? So he should be good.
Oh, sweet summer child.
No,
not yet. They have hinted that he'll be reworked whenever they revisit Clone Wars with the new season.
Okay,
but it just wasn't ready for this time.
Now let's go over this because you're going through and saying Luminara and Jedi Counselor. Now, the theory crafting that I've seen and have been hearing about and kind of looking over has mixed opinions about this. Now, Qui-Gon Jinn, they definitely go through and seem to be leaning towards, because, I mean, you get plus 30 speed, more offense for your team to go along with Coyote-Mundi's if they were either a Jedi and support or healer role. You get another 30 speed, get some more offense. So we're good there. Now, some of the characters I have been seeing thrown out there are like Aayla Secura, who is not an attacker, is a support character. Which, going through, does fall underneath the Qui-Gon lead, does fall underneath the Shaak Ti lead, or Coyote-Mundi unique. So they seem to be, from what I've been seeing, is Qui-Gon Jinn, Barriss, Coyote-Mundi, Aayla, and then maybe Jedi Counselor Luminara. That 5th spot seems to be the toss-up area.
Right. Now Plo Koon got a little bit of a touch-up as well, and he's got a pretty good ship. So that could be an option, too, if you leveled him up.
But Plo Koon is a tank, so he does not get the complete benefit of that.
Right, but his Dispel may come in handy, depending on how the battles actually turn out.
Correct. But a decent plug-and-play character that is not on my Padme team or Jedi Knight Revan team that I already have geared up could be Obi-Wan Kenobi. He is a...
Hey, do you mean old Ben?
Yes, old Ben. Yes.
Are you sure they're the same person?
Yeah, you know, they are tanks. But I do have him geared up. So, I mean, going through, just throwing it up, trying to get buffs on people, using a taunt could work.
Yeah, there's definitely some leftovers we can put together. But again,
or even throwing Hermit Yoda into that team. So we're talking Qui-Gon Jinn, Barriss, Hermit Yoda, Aayla Secura, and Coyote-Mundi. That seems to be a good mix of characters that would be new. A new character in Coyote-Mundi that you have to gear up. A character that Aayla questionable on whether was usable at one point in time. Not anymore. Same way with Qui-Gon Jinn, and then 2 characters in Hermit Yoda and Barriss Offee that have been in the meta in and out.
Yeah, you could also, if you want to break up your Phoenix team, throw Ezra or Kanan in there as well.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're just looking for Jedi, because again, Ki-Adi-Mundi is going to be forever until we get this unlocked, and that's...
Yeah,
Man,
it's one of those things.
gotta-
I'm kind of looking at characters that would be easy gears, but also fall underneath that Ki-Adi-Mundi lead. And if I'm only going through and using one character, which would be... actually, not even one character. Every single one of those characters would go through and fall under that Ki-Adi-Mundi unique ability. So you're adding plus 60 speed to Hermit Yoda to call in all those extra attacks along with Ayla. I think that would be a very, very good and viable team, and actually go through and use the unique and leadership combination to the utmost advantage of your team. Where if you go through and do that with Phoenix and put Ezra and Kanan in there, neither one of them get any benefits from that Ki-Adi-Mundi unique.
All right.
So
Yeah, and again, this relies on us having Ki-Adi-Mundi, which they've got to up the rewards to 2 shards, right? I mean, only getting one of these a month.
I thought so, because that's what they did before with Hoth.
Right.
They went through, and when we originally started with light side, everything was 1 shard. When we switched over to dark side and we cut in half the amount of shards we could acquire per territory battle, they went through and doubled everything to 2 shards. So I'm hoping that is the case here.
Yes, I mean, even if your guild maxes out shards first time around, you still don't get an unlock. You still got to wait till next month to even unlock them, and then you get the 7 stars.
As of right now, if they went
a year
to
from now,
if they went to 2 shards, it'd
be half a year from now.
Yeah. Well, if it was 2 shards, you would at least unlock them after the first go around if everybody beats the mission, which probably isn't going to happen, but that's why I'm hoping they do that. I'm not going to be totally upset if they don't do it the first go around, because I just don't see a lot of guilds and well, I shouldn't say a lot of guilds. The higher end guilds like Maw and Instinct and some of these other guilds that kind of rely on whales, they're going to get those characters and get a lot, 40 to probably 50 shards per territory battle. So those guys would be hurt a little bit, but I think everybody else who's probably going to have to wait till right now halfway through, so probably the second go around to get probably half, I would say 20 to 25 shards of Ki-Adi-Mundi. The second go around, I'm hoping by then they go through and change it to 2 shards. That way it'll benefit the majority of the guilds that way.
Yeah, I hope so. Anyway, so that's phase 1, and if they do the scoring like they did with Darkseid...
Well, we went through and kind of went down the pipe there with Ki-Adi-Mundi's kit and some theory crafting and everything. Let me just double check that we covered everything, because we basically talked about everything, because his unique is definitely like adding a second leader ability to the team. And it's all about supports and healers, which seem to lean towards characters that are not used as much. So,
right.
All right, let's get into the rest of this.
Okay, so I'm hoping that the scoring is going to be similar to Darkseid, where you could get by with some 2 waves, some 3 waves, and still end up with 3 stars on your phase or in that territory. Anyway, moving on to phase 2. Got our normal combat mission for ships, and then our squadron mission requires 3 Galactic Republic ships at 7 star, 1 capital, and 3 standard. So pick your Capital Republic ship. So could be Mace for most people,
Yep.
and go from there.
Not even for most people, for pretty much all people to start off with, because everything's required to be 7 stars. So unless someone has a 7-star negotiator, which I know some of the top guilds are starting to get their first capital ship maxed out at 7 stars, you're going to be using Mace.
Yeah. It's gonna be close. So going into combat missions, middle territory, we again have 5 plain light side characters. And then we have our first GP requirements. Combat mission 2, 5 Galactic Republic characters at 7 stars with 2,100 GP each.
No.
Yes, this is
not
straight
20,
from...
not 2,100.
No, it is. For this phase, it's 2,100. 21,000, I'm sorry, yes.
Yes. Not 2,100. 2,100 pretty easy to hit. It is 21,000, and yes, you did hear us right. It is no longer a star requirement. It is, once again, just like the Epic Confrontation events, a GP and power requirement that you need characters to be at. And it is 21,000 galactic power for your characters in order to go through and do this.
Yeah. So this could be your Padme team, more likely on this one. Then we get down to our special mission where you have to have General Anakin Skywalker and Ahsoka Tano, 7 stars, 21,000 GP each. So I'm guessing this is going to be kind of like the Dooku Asajj mission. Which that'd be kind of fun running them together.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with that.
I have an issue. I won't be doing it for a while, but it's fine.
Yeah.
So,
I just the 21,000. I have 14 characters that are above 21,000. That is it. So it is going to be rough sledding here for a while. And looking at the characters that I do have above 21,000, the majority of them have either multiple Zetas, maxed out gear 12 pieces, and just need the gear 13 finisher on them. And even some of the characters that are sitting there right below hand, they are at gear 12, just needing a gear 12 finisher, and aren't even close. So, yeah. Pretty much the requirement is gear 13.
Yeah. And that kind of gets us into the special mission. Well, Phase 2 Bomb Territory. Again, we have 5 light side characters, the 5 Jedi characters, the 21,000 again. So probably going to be your Revan team here. Then your special mission, General Kenobi, Commander Cody, and Clone Sergeant at 7 stars, 21,000. So Kenobi, Cody, Kenobi's easy. I think everybody's probably got him leveled up. But Commander Cody, he kind of got left on the sideline whenever everybody was doing their clones for the 501st, along with Clone Sergeant.
Oh, man. You're telling me I got to gear up Cody and Clone Sergeant? Oh, man.
No, and Clone Sergeant's tough because he only has 3 abilities and no Zetas. So I've got him at gear 12, everything but the finisher, and he's still only 17,000 galactic power. 17,917.
And he has to be 21,000?
Yes.
So
now, I don't have any 6-stop mods on him yet, but still.
Oh, man. You're going to have to get him to, like...
He's going to be like Relic 4 or 5.
Yeah, hopefully you can get by it with him at Relic 4, but, oh, jeez. Man.
Yeah, he's a tough one. Cody's not as bad.
Well, Cody's not as bad only because you have the Zeta on Cody.
Right.
You
so
take that Zeta off Cody, it's going to be ugly.
Yeah. And I've got him at gear 12 with most of the gear, the finishers. I'm missing 2 pieces, and he's at 20,688. I can get him there.
Well, yeah. Yes. I was going to say, you can get him there with 6-stop mod for sure. But, man, that GP requirement is rough. And then they go through and double whammy, hit you with Cody and Clone Sergeant, because I mean, they're useful in all sorts of teams right now.
Yeah. Now here's the deal with this. This is a special mission, so depending on what the reward is, yeah, I'm not going out of my way to get this. Those extra 10 get tokens.
Yeah,
sorry,
right now I am definitely not going after either one of those characters. I could see maybe here in a few months they may be worth it, but as of right now, no, not gonna happen.
Yeah, when we get this thing on farm and we're trying to maximize, great, but just trying to make it through it.
Oh no, not even that. We're gonna go down the pipe here.
Okay.
So going through in the interview that the devs gave to the Galactic War Report, they did talk about, and they kind of hinted that, well, they flat out said Mace is not getting a rework this go around.
Right.
They did hint at, there might be another animated show coming out here early next year in which we might end up going back into the Clone Wars. Now, if that does happen and they go back into the Clone Wars, doing a Mace rework, it seems like they're hinting more that Mace would have more clone synergy. It would make sense to me that Mace would be like Shaak Ti. And then you go through and build a clone team around Commander Cody and Clone Sergeant. So you have two separate clone teams with a Jedi leadership ability.
Oh, yeah. And I still think we're going to get Delta Squad. And
I just think it's going to be the new clones that are kind of focused on with the new animated.
That's who I meant.
Yeah.
I call it Delta Squad.
Yeah, with the new animated series.
Yeah.
So right now, I don't think it's worth going after Cody and Clone Sergeant. If they end up getting a rework here in February, March of the year when they go back into the Clone Wars, then all bets are off the table. I completely understand gearing it up. It will probably make that mission a lot more feasible as far as GP requirement goes, as far as just difficulty goes. It's going to be feasible to actually complete, because right now, the way the system's laid out, I do not know if hitting that, just like anything, if you only hit that minimum requirement, it's very unlikely that you're actually going to complete that mission. So
yeah, it's just getting you in.
Yeah, it's just getting you in the door. It does not mean you're actually going to beat it. So that's why I think there's going to be something further down the line that's actually going to make this feasible to actually complete.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, so moving into phase 3, we've got, again, 2 ship missions. We've got Anakin Starfighter required for this one with the Galactic Republic ship. Combat missions, again, 5 light side characters. Then your special mission is going to be 5 Galactic Republic Jedi at 22,000 GP each.
Oh man, yeah.
Just tighten those screws down a little bit.
Yeah, I'm out. I do not have a Galactic Republic Jedi anywhere near that height.
Well, if you don't have Galactic Republic Jedi, just plain old Jedi over 22,000 you can use in the bottom territory.
Yeah, I might be able to scrounge up a team for that with my Jedi Knight Revan team, but not much more than that.
Yeah, well, if you're prioritizing our special mission for Ki-Adi-Mundi is going to be in phase 3, requiring the ARC Trooper at 7 stars, 22,000, Clone Troopers, and Shaak Ti at 7 stars, 22,000.
All right, let me see how I'm doing here. I got Shaak Ti there. 5 fives is there. Ew. Rex, I'm at 21,000, so a little bit of work with Rex. Echo's at 20,000. Oh man. Looks like I'm going to be doing Clone Sergeant or Cody there. Probably Clone Sergeant.
Well, you've got some time. How's your ARC farm coming?
My arc farm is it's working. Actually, no. So, well, I do not have to do Clone Sergeant then. If I have Rex, Echo, Fives, then Shock T, Arc would be the other required piece. Arc sitting at 71 of 80. So
Okay.
I'm doing the 3 Cantina refreshes, kind of just investing a little bit of crystals into them, mainly trying to get that unlock as quick as possible. That way he can work on the gear, get him up, and then kind of see where the mission leads us, and then go from there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have him ready this go around. Maybe by next month I'll have him. I mean, I'm at 31 of 65, so he's unlocked, he's geared, but
Yeah, that's kind of why I'm like going through and slowing down on, not really slowing down, but just doing the 3 refreshes, because I knew there was no way I would have him ready in time for this territory battle. So I'll just go through, get him ready for try to get him ready as close as possible for the second go around.
yeah, I mean, if we were getting a sizable amount of kind of money shards in our guild, I might whale some more, but you know,
Yeah, probably not going to happen. Going to have to wait till the second go around.
yeah. All right, so that takes us to phase 3. Phase 4, gotta have negotiator, 7 stars for one of the missions here. So that threw a wrench in my get to farming plan with malevolence.
Yeah, I'm sure it did.
So I do think I am just going to go ahead and max negotiator out and get that done. Moving down to the combat missions. Plain old 5 light side characters. Then we've got 5 Jedi characters, 23,000 GP. So really, for your GP target, might as well hit that. That way, it'll just apply for everything else.
Yeah, I don't got characters there. I mean, I do, but it's really bare minimum hitting that power rating. I am at 6 characters that are above 23,000. So, yeah. It's going to be a tough go for a while.
Yeah, it definitely is. Special mission here, Coyote Mundi, Shock T, and 3 Galactic Republic Jedi at 23,000 GP. So it'll be a while before we get that one done.
Yeah, for sure. If it's just the special mission, I'm not really worried about it. At least for right now. That's going to be further down the line in which you're trying to max out currency and everything like that.
Yeah, this will probably be your 20 GP deal.
Yep.
Or get tokens, I mean. And then finally, the bottom territory, 5 light side characters, 7 stars. Then a Padme Amidala, or basically your Padme team. Padme, Jedi Knight Anakin, General Kenobi, and 2 Galactic Republic characters at 23,000, fighting the Nexu.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that one.
I did see or hear something in the dev interview that I don't remember whether it was the Nexu or I'm trying to remember the other character or other kind of boss.
The Reek.
No, it was Reek, Nexu, and then something else. They went through and said it was going to randomly appear at the bottom of Phase 4 as you're battling, and I'm kind of hoping that it's going to be like per guild or per round on where it's randomly going to be at the end. That way it's not going through and completely randomized. It's going to be more like you send people in, figure out where it's at, and then kind of strategize where you need to place your team to battle this beast is at the end.
Yeah, that's going to be cool. That plays out, throw a little bit of variety into it.
Yeah. It's also going to go through and require people to go through and you're going to have to put in one of your better players to go through, try to get to Phase 4 to figure out where this thing is, and then go from there and strategize on making sure people go through and put in their best teams to go against that specific mission to complete that complete it. So it does sound really intriguing and a very good coordination to add into the territory battles, but it's going to be a long time before that happens because how many people actually get to Phase 4 right now of Darkside Geonosian territory battles, let alone these light side that seems to be amped up for these relics?
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm not really worried about Phase 4. I mean, if I go through and clear Phase 1 on get through Wave 1 of Phase 4, I'll be happy.
Right.
It's like, woo, I got some tokens for everybody. I mean, boom, count it. Give me that power.
Let's see. Our final special mission, which we won't see for a while. General Anakin Skywalker and 4 other 501st allies of 7 stars, 23,000.
Yeah, and believe it or not, that's probably the least restrictive requirement there.
Yeah.
Because everybody's going to have... If you can use General Anakin Skywalker, as soon as you get him up to gear 7 stars, he's going to hit that power requirement. All the 501st characters are going to be very close. It's just going to be waiting for ARC Trooper to be able to do that mission. So I definitely think that's kind of interesting that the easiest character requirements and gear requirements are probably on Phase 4 for General Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah. This is going to be a tough one, and they've said as much. Like, this is going to be the hardest content in the game, and it's designed to last us a while. And we've seen this with every territory battle before. This isn't designed for our rosters now. This is designed for our rosters 6 months from now.
Yeah, so it's definitely going to be rough here this first go around, which puts me into an interesting dilemma that I want to go through and ask you about, because I mean, I've been holding on to that Get To currency. Right now, I am sitting on a little over almost 79,000 Get To currency. So I can technically unlock both the Malevolence and the Negotiator, or I can just go all in like on the Negotiator or Malevolence. Looking at the kit and looking at the gameplay for the Malevolence, looks okay on offense. Seems to need a little, not so much help, but it's very iffy and very shaky as far as beating a Negotiator or even a Home 1 team. And it does seem to require both the new droid chips to actually be fairly competitive. A lot of people that I've seen have been using Houndstooth, and it not very good on defense right now. So, what do you think I should do? Should I go through and just go all in on the Negotiator? General Kenobi is Gear 13. Relic 4. I do have Ahsoka going up to Gear 13 quickly. I could get Jedi Anakin up to Gear 13 rather quickly. So I do have 5s up. I have the very good base for that Negotiator fleet. Or do I just go through and unlock both of them just so I have an extra capital ship for Grand Arena?
How often does your Grand Arena come down to ships?
As I've been going through this round, it is becoming more and more important. Because before, just the brackets I was in with the matchmaking, I could just kind of walk through their ships with my Home 1 fleet, but basically my defense is crap. I'm just going through throwing all my Geos in there with either Thrawn or Mace just to kind of go through and place a defense. It's nothing that I think it is going to hold.
Okay, so you got that. We know for a fact that the Negotiator is arena meta. It's
and required for territory battles.
Yeah, definitely required.
78,000 should put me. Well, it's going to put me right where you're sitting at right now. So how close are you to 7 stars?
I am sitting at
10 of 100.
Yes, 10 of 100.
So has me decently close to 7 stars. I mean,
yeah, it's 10 of 100, and I've got 17,000 get in the back.
Okay.
So I could get them up about 60-ish or so.
Okay, so yeah. Almost leads me to believe to go through, just because I had the fleet kind of build out, to go to 7-star negotiator and then start working on malevolence. Just mainly because it seems like those droid ships seem to be required to actually make that team work, and right now, yeah, they're going to be sitting at that 5-star, and Vulture Droid will get up to 7 stars a little bit quicker.
Well, how's your Geos?
My Geos are all Gear 12s, 8'd out. Everything's placed on them as far as ship ability mats go.
Yeah, because that could at least be a good starting lineup.
True.
IG is supposed to work well under him.
Yep.
I mean, you
my
could build a
IG's,
fleet out.
my IG's let's see, he's Gear 12.
Okay, so you got something usable there at least.
Yeah.
I'm still leaning toward 7-star negotiator.
Yeah, that's kind of after seeing the fleets and everything, just because that Sith bomber, or not Sith, the Vulture Droid and the Hyena bomber both seem to almost be required to be at 7 stars to actually make it anywhere feasible. That it makes more sense to use that negotiator fleet and just make it super difficult, especially for Grand Arena and Territory Wars, to go through and do that, and then just kind of build up that Malevolence fleet as I bring up the Vulture Droid and Hyena bomber.
Yeah, and two more kind of wild cards will most likely get a First Order and Resistance capital ship, which is going to shake up the meta.
Correct.
Yeah,
I just don't see them being galactic event currency.
Oh, I don't either. That's what I mean.
Yeah. That would be my only concern. When I'm going after a fleet and everything, it's like, if the capital ships aren't going into that guild store, I am completely fine with it. I have no problem with it. It's like if they went in there and I needed to save up for those ships, not that I have Resistance, I have okay. First Order, I would be hurting badly because I have not geared those characters at all.
Those ships and characters seem like a perfect introductory thing for new players. Like maybe we get some of those fleet events.
Yeah, I mean, that would be more one of those things, like there'd be easier ships to get to. They would be good fillers for Grand Arena. Like if they went through and changed it to, say you need to set 2 fleets on defense, adding First Order and Resistance would be a great starting basis for that. That way you're going through like everything else with some sort of strategy. Do you go through and go super heavy and put, say, like a Home 1 meta, a Negotiator meta in there, or Negotiator Malevolence on defense, and hope they save that for offense? That way you can actually use Home 1 and like Thrawn or someone, Executrix, to get through their weak fleet. So yeah, I'd see a lot of strategy in that if they did that.
Yeah. The last kind of wild card is a new raid. They have mentioned we're getting one in the next year.
Next year, and it would be using ships, yeah.
Yeah, so having more 7-star ships, more teams you can throw in there, more damage you do, more payout you get, better off you are.
That is true. So, yeah, I'm leaning towards that negotiator ship, so we'll see how that goes this week.
Yeah, we got some time. We don't have to spend it all today. So,
I got to spend it all
listeners,
today.
if y'all have an idea about it, let us know.
Yeah, I was going to say, tag me on Discord. Let me know if I'm thinking right and going all in on Negotiator, getting that up to 7 stars, and then switching over to Malevolence, or should I go through and unlock both of them and then kind of concentrate on Negotiator after that?
Yeah, let's see. Anything else on the Republic Offensive?
I don't think so. That
It's
pretty much covers
it's gonna
everything.
be tough. I'm looking forward to it.
It will be a lot of thank you, sir. May I have another?
Yes, indeed. We've been quoting the dev interview. It's on Galactic War Reports. Definitely check out the full one of that. Anything else you want to touch from that?
Yeah, I just wanted to go through. So we went over about the base rework that wasn't happening and how I think it's going to be going into clones when they actually do rework him. They did acknowledge the lack of content and that they have noticed it. They felt it themselves. And basically they explained it by they're trying to build systems to allow the content to happen a lot quicker. And it seemed like what we were discussing before. It was about bringing in new players to experience that content. Because right now, all the content they come out is for endgame. It has nothing to do with new players or to bring in new players of the game, which really isn't a sustainable game model. So I understand what they're getting at. Although they did mention that they've been trying to implement these with territory battles and other events before, saying, oh yeah, we're working on creating all these different back-end structures that will allow us to bring in content into the game a lot quicker. Which
remember when we were so young and naive and we were listing out all the different territory battles we could have and how awesome
Yes.
it was going to be.
They did that with that. They did that with the the Ewok event. They did that with the Night Sister event to get shards, or Wicked event. That's what it was. It's like, oh, we built out these structures. We'll be able to release these, and it'll be go through, be able to release content with events. It just apparently it did not work, and they kind of started from the ground up, which I agree that they needed to do to bring in the new players to get them up to speed quicker. That way, when they do release new content, that everybody can benefit from the new content, just not endgame players.
Yeah. This seems like another thing that's indicative that this game has lived way beyond its expected expiration date. They never thought it was going to go this far.
Yes, I completely agree. And basically, to the extent of that, they went through and were having a lull in the game. That way they could revamp the systems to accommodate and actually create a game plan for the future of the game.
Mm-hmm. And because most games, a traditional game, you would have all these systems in place, and it would last a while to start showing its age, and they would scrap it and improve it in the sequel. Well, they're obviously not going to do it with this, so they're just having to live with what they made 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, now they have to go through and try to figure out how to get people that are just starting today or coming back after not playing for 4 years, like some players, not playing for 2-3 years, more than other players, to get them back into the game and get them up to speed. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much all the news. So let's get into let's do the Marquee Watch, actually.
Okay. Listener questions, we didn't really have any this go around. If you got a question for us, drop it in the Discord. We will get to it. So Marquee Watch, we've got Hyena looking to go to shipments around the 16th. Probably go along with the Galactic Republic Y-Wing. They released 3 days apart, so they'll probably be in the same update.
So pretty much Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
That is when that we would expect them to see them in packs, and then end of January to go free to play.
Yeah, so and really expecting to see another marquee next week.
Yeah, I expect to see a marquee in the next few weeks, honestly. I think they're going to go back to that cadence where we get one a week. I sure hope so.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Now, the most important part. Who are you bumping and grinding on?
Oh, getting ready for Galactic Offensive. Just working on my clones, working on my Jedi, trying to make those decisions there. Grinding out ARC Trooper.
All right. Yeah, I'm pretty much right there with you. I went through, cleared up a few grinds that I've been working on, but still going through trying to get Ahsoka and B1, getting ready for General Anakin Skywalker to come back. Decided to, since the only thing I'm actually farming for those characters are the friggin' Cryotechs is the only thing I'm farming for them. I decided to go through and pick another character to kind of round out a team. So started gearing up Night Sister Spirit. Got Night Sister Spirit up to gear 11.
That's a good character. That's a staple character for Territory War.
Yeah, so I feel really odd about it because that's my going to be my seventh Night Sister up to gear 12. So, but regardless,
this show was built on Night Sisters. Damn it.
That is right. So, Night Sister Spirit is getting geared up, going into a team just because it is a nuisance character that I have struggled with both in Territory Wars and Grand Arena. So that is happening on this side, and then hopefully Django after that. But we will see how that goes, because apparently Cody and Clone Sergeant might be a thing here. But other than that, just grinding away on Vulture Droids, Sith Bombers, getting there, 48 of 100, trying to get through Rose. Like I said, ARC Troopers at 72 of 80, so unlock tomorrow. Actually, throw ARC Trooper up there in that bump and grinding list, because he's going to get unlocked tomorrow, and he's going to get geared up immediately. And obviously the Sith Fighter is my last fleet battle farm, and I'm at 5 of 85. And then
getting there.
Yeah, and then the Guild Sword's really just decisions as far as, like we were talking about, between Negotiator and the Malevolence. Now, that is all we have this week for Galaxy of Heroes. We are going to get into the Star Wars news that will definitely contain spoilers for The Mandalorian, and I would imagine Force Awakens possibly also. So if you're going to go through and skip out now, completely understand. And thanks for listening. We enjoy having you here.
Absolutely.
So until next time, guys, we will see you later.
All right, are the filthy casuals gone?
Are they gone?
All right, now we can get to it.
Did we get rid of them?
I think so.
All right, good. Good. Now we can talk about the good stuff.
Yeah. And in all seriousness, though, let us know how kind of y'all want us to structure this stuff. Would you prefer 2 feeds, a separate show, all this stuff first?
Yeah. Well,
there's a lot of different options out there. I don't know if doing a completely separate show is something our schedule can allow right now, but we could look at it.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it, but as of right now, it's going to stay... I think this is the best way to do it, in which we'll split up the Star Wars news and the Galaxy of Heroes news, because I have seen some feedback that we don't get into the Galaxy of Heroes news quick enough before, so
yeah,
we will go from there. But let's get into the Star Wars stuff. I mean, there is stuff going on.
There is. So I mentioned at the top of the show, I finished up Jedi Fallen Order. Great.
Right.
Just the Star Wars game that we have wanted for a while. I won't get into spoilers on that. I'll give that a little bit more time. But I I was actually kind of upset that I finished it. I want more. I'm used to these games as a service where
Now-
DLC just keeps coming and I can play forever. And
All right. So I have seen gameplay of Fallen Order. I've seen people playing it. Fallen Order, on what people go through and complained about the KOTOR comment or KOTOR content in Galaxy of Heroes for so long and not understand it. Fallen Order is very much a modern version of KOTOR to me.
as far as the characters,
Characters, you're building up your ability as you go. You're building up lightsabers. You're building up techniques depending on the way you want to play.
kinda. It is nowhere near as in depth as KOTOR.
Well, yeah, that's why I said it's more of a modern version. You kind of have to strip it down, make it a little bit more streamlined for these modern kids.
Yeah, this is more analogous to a Dark Souls game or a From Software type game.
Okay.
It's very light on RPG as far as like building your lightsaber. You can pick the color you want and you can customize the cosmetics of it, but you're not like adding 0.5 to defense or anything like that.
I don't remember KOTOR doing that, but I remember KOTOR basically upgrading the ability tree. Which, do you do that in Fallen Order?
Yeah, you do, but it's not as in depth. You basically just kind of unlock different skills.
Okay.
So you can do like a force push, a force pull, a more advanced version of that. Unlock like a overhead strike.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, it still does sound a little bit more like a stripped down, modernized version of KOTOR.
Yeah, it's mostly again like a Dark Souls game, like a Metroid type game where you go and explore and you can't get to a certain area until you get an ability. Then you have to come back and unlock another part of the map, which will give you another ability that will let you go somewhere else. That sort of thing.
Yep, that's just modern game design. KOTOR tried that at the time. It was just, I guess KOTOR was closer to Mass Effect. As far as
KOTOR was the precursor to Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Same company, same design team, everything.
Yep.
As far as like the canon goes, it's pretty interesting. It takes place a couple years after Order 66. You're a Jedi laying low. Little Easter eggs. It's right from the start. You're on a scrapper planet. They're cutting apart Galactic Republic's Star Destroyers in the background. There's clone armor here and there. Just cool stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, let's get into
that.
the meat and potatoes with the Mandalorian here.
Oh yeah. Well, you want to talk about Force Collector, the young adult novel?
Well, I mean, if you want to,
it's solid B. So it's okay. It's kind of neat. Has really nothing to do with the Rise of Skywalker as far as like events taking place, unless they come out of left field with some stuff. Interesting story on its own. Kind of unnecessary right now.
okay.
But let's get to the Baby Yoda show featuring the Mandalorian.
Yeah, that is right. I mean, whoo-wee. There were tons of stuff in there. There is Easter eggs everywhere.
Right. So we got 2 episodes to cover this week. You've seen them both, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, just making sure. We had episode 3, The Sin, and episode 4, Sanctuary. So let's start with episode 3.
So, episode 3, I mean, obviously the big Easter egg, in which I noticed immediately, was the ice cream maker.
Yes, the Camtono has got its own lore. Well, I mean, it had it before, but it's brought back. It is retconned. Amazing. Love it.
Yeah, making it a vault, making it basically a safe full of stuff. It, I saw it and just laughed, and I was like, oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, that was cool. The little Huttese ring doorbell.
Yep.
Seeing that guy, that was cool. Vibra blades. That was pretty neat to see.
Yeah, we don't have any vibroblades in the game yet. I mean,
No.
we could use some vibroblades in the game.
Use a little more vibration in our lives.
And that's right.
So, yeah, episode 3 was just... That's my favorite one so far.
Okay, I could see that. Yep.
So like Deborah Chow directed this one, and she's going to be in charge of the Obi-Wan series.
Did she direct that one or 4?
She directed this one.
Oh yeah, never mind. Howard's
Yeah.
daughter directed 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there hasn't been a dud in the bunch.
No.
I mean, it's awesome. So we got into more of the culture of the Mandalorians, kind of what it means to be a bounty hunter. Everybody is just in love with Baby Yoda.
I mean, who
Like,
isn't in love with Baby Yoda?
God, every time he's on the screen, everybody is just, oh, the Baby Yoda.
Just distraction.
Right.
Don't look anywhere else. Just stare at Baby Yoda. Forget everything else that's going on.
Like, I love that little shit, and he's just a puppet. But they cannot keep him on the show. It will not go anywhere.
Oh.
They'll turn it into and I'll watch it every day. It'll just be a 2-camera sitcom with this Dad DeLorean with the hijinks of Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda and me.
I'd watch it, but
So this is what I wrote down as far as going through, and I mentioned this from episode 1, and it's not straying away from this at all. And if anything, it's going through and stronger and stronger into this category. It's reminded me more and more of Firefly with every episode.
yeah, I can see that.
Because you're going through, just like in Firefly, you're going through and you have a person on the ship that they went through and grew to love and are protecting them no matter what the bounty on them is. You might get a ton of money for basically turning in this person, which in The Mandalorian is Baby Yoda, but just through morals and going through and knowing that it is not the right thing to do to give up to the evil
Right.
empire or to go through and giving them up, it's not morally right to do. So they go through and continue protecting them. And even that with Baby Yoda and with Firefly, both of them are going through and are protecting someone that was either created by the corrupted government, or the basically government is trying to go through and run tests on them that may or may not destroy the actual person themselves. So I'm like going through, and same thing with the hijinks. You go through they're built up as this great team. They're going to go through and destroy everybody, and every time they go in there, it's like, well, I'm going to do this, and they start doing everything and just get beat up and somehow scrape by and survive.
Yeah, that kind of like, I love this show. Don't get me wrong, but if I had to nitpick a few things, kind of that's one of them. They want to have their cake and eat it too. Like, he is the best bounty hunter in the parsec. He can go into a building and just wreck shop, just John Wick style. But also, he's a bumbling idiot and forgets to lock his ship up. He gets snuck up on all the time. Does not understand security or tracking or anything when it serves the plot.
Beasts go through and pop out of nowhere and surprise him as he's looking down the barrel of his gun like he didn't notice they were coming up towards him.
Right.
But
it's...
Yeah, that's why I kind of go through and, like, just the hijinks and everything of going through from bounty to bounty, going through for, I guess the only difference is that the Mandalorian seems to have plenty of money to survive, where Firefly, they were going through and basically surviving job from job just to try to repair the ship or get the ship operational. That way they can do their next bounty to collect their next fee. Where the
Right.
Mandalorian's like, yeah, whatever. I have plenty of money to be able to do whatever the hell I want. It's just,
He did. I don't think he's going to have that going forward.
I don't know. He seems to have a pretty nice ship built up. He didn't seem to be worried about money or what he's paying to people. So, either way, it's just going through and I have no qualms with them going through with a similar plot line of Firefly, because I think Firefly was amazing.
Yeah, and this show does rely heavily on trope.
Yes.
I mean, Episode 4 was a straight Seven Samurai
And-
episode, which every show in the world's done a version of this.
And did you see any of the director's commentary, or I should say director's commentary, people commentating on the director that actually did this with Howard, because she went through and she was in Jurassic Park. All her
Yes.
themes are based on Jurassic Park, and the way she filmed the ATST is just like they filmed the T-Rex in Jurassic Park. You have them
Right.
surveying the footprint going through the ATST, walking through the trees, bending it over. I started seeing it. I
Yeah.
was like, "Yep, I can see that," and I have no problem with it. I think this is amazing.
Oh yeah, love the way it was shot. It brought some horror back to this intimidating piece of equipment that the last time we saw was destroyed by a bunch of teddy bears.
Yeah, and you go through and see how the I guess you would call them scoundrels, go through and kind of modify the ATST to make it more menacing and almost like a they would make villagers think it's some beast in the dark coming after them by going through and backlighting the eyes and making them look red, so it looks like some beast coming out of the woods rather than just an ATST in which they can identify.
Well, there's that, and there's also a tactical advantage because red light does not impact your night vision. So in a lot of military vehicles, any light you would have at night would be red. That way, if you got out of the vehicle, you'd still have your night vision.
Yeah, that is true. I was thinking more that it was just kind of a
Yeah, it looks badass too.
yeah, I was
absolutely.
thinking more of like a guerrilla tactic in which they were just trying to scare them by going
Yeah.
through. And it's like, oh, look at these just red glowing eyes going through the forest, scaring the crap out of people.
Yeah, it works on multiple levels. And the director's named Bryce Dallas Howard, just so we get that
Okay.
out there. But yeah, that was great. And then, like, there's so much misdirection in the show. Like, you know it's not, but it still gets you. Like, at the end with the shot of little baby Yoda and the crosshairs, like, everybody held their breath. Like, and
Oh, yeah.
when we were watching it, like, you know they're not gonna like just snipe his ass in the 4th episode. This ain't Game of Thrones.
Well, they could
But
have.
still,
They could have, as far as plot
they're
goes
not,
through.
they're not
because
going to.
I could see them going through and doing that, and then it'd be like, like hostage or something like that, and the Mandalorian just goes on some vendetta to go through and go after everybody that was trying to kill the baby Yoda.
Yeah. Now, if harm comes to little baby Yoda, this whole nation's gonna riot. Like everybody, gonna burn stuff down. But yeah, let's go back to episode 3. Kind of glossed over the amazing end of that.
Yeah, armor.
Oh yeah, the armor was cool. He got blinged out. They talked more about the helmets. We got our boy Avisla up in there.
Yeah, one of them. Yeah, they were going through. Very
Paz Vizsla.
interesting.
He was the thick man though with the machine gun.
That's right. I mean, bigger
Not-
weapons better.
Now he wasn't credited in the credits of the show, but I think in some production notes he was mentioned as Paz Vizsla, spelled differently than the old spelling. They didn't have the S in there. They just Vizl it.
Well, Mandalorians disappeared, so I mean, true Mandalorians are Vizslas with an S.
And it could also very well be just a production typo too. You know, some intern doesn't give a crap about that S.
Yeah. Screw you. I care about that S.
Oh, me too. Definitely. So that was cool. We learned more about the helmet. If it's removed, it's a thing of great dishonor for a Mandalorian.
Well, not even that. They went into a little bit more into episode 4 about that, saying if he takes off the helmet, he can't put it back on. And
Right.
a lot of people are going through and finding that as a mention it as a plot hole, because both Resistance and the Clone, I don't know if the Clone Wars does, but definitely Resistance with Sabine Wren.
No, Rebels, not.
Or yes, sorry, Rebels. going through with like Sabine and everything with her family that are actually leaders of Mandalore going through it, and they're walking around with their helmets off all the time. So people are talking about this being a plot hole compared to Rebels, and I'm like, I don't know if it's that or if it's just, as we saw in Rebels, you have certain factions of Mandalorians that are kind of take like a religion to an extreme, and this almost seems like an extreme religion to them. Like their combat and everything is based on that, or even their clan goes through and feels that way.
It could be part of their tribe, could be part of their like a reaction to this great purge that happened. There's no way it's a plot hole. They're going to explain this. They know that we know that this is a thing. They retconned the damn ice cream maker. They're not going to leave this up in the air. It does make for great TV, like having that mystery around the helmet, having all of that as a plot device that brings people in, which is what this show has been phenomenal at.
And I honestly think they actually created that, what people are calling a plot hole, just to open up a discussion to get more people talking about the show. And then they're going to answer it here further down the line, saying it's part of that clan of Mandalorians, and explain more about why he can't take off his helmet to this clan or to this sect of Mandalorians.
Yeah, because I mean, this show is, at least right now, the first 4 episodes, is designed for people that don't watch Star Wars. I mean, it's obviously giving long-term fans all kinds of great things to pick at, but the people that have never, like, they love Disney, but maybe never got into Star Wars, this is so accessible because they understand the main themes. You got Baby Yoda, which is the cutest thing anybody's ever seen in the history of the world.
And honestly, if you like any science fiction TV, whether it was Star Trek, Stargate, any of the shows like that, this fits very nicely into that genre. Also,
westerns, it's all this stuff. It's impeccably made. The special effects, the music, everything, the practical effects.
Yes.
Oh, so well made. Costumes, you name it.
Definitely. I mean, there's obviously some keys that they miss here or there that go through just with editing that gets snafu'd, but I mean, that is to be expected in a TV show with the quick turnaround, and they're just trying to go through and bang out the shows as quick as possible and not edit them for months at a time.
They'll get it on the special edition.
That's right. Second or third special edition down the road.
So talking about the Mandalorians and all the secrecy and all that, that's what made the end of 3 even better, with all them coming out of the covert to back up the Mandalorian, and just seeing that in live action was just so awesome.
Oh yeah, that was, and even the comment that he needed to get him a jetpack also.
Yes, I think like half the people in the room said that when they saw it, and then he said it following it. Perfect timing, just amazing.
Yeah, I wasn't saying that. I was like, oh wait, he doesn't have a jetpack. Where is his jetpack? Just thinking it's on his ship, and then he mentioned that he had to get one. I was like, oh, so they give you the amazing armor when you bring all that Beskar steel, and they make you armor out of it, but they don't give you a jetpack?
He's got to get some more XP and level up.
Apparently. I mean, everybody goes through and they're like, yo, you're just going to walk around in that armor? Everybody's going to know how much it is and going to attack you because of how much it costs. And I'm like, but they don't give you a jetpack. I don't understand. I am confused by this.
Yeah. That's what's kind of exciting about the show is kind of, again, the show relies on tropes and kind of guess what's going to happen. But they've done everything I thought was going to happen in the first 3 episodes. Like, I thought him getting his armor would be a more gradual thing over the season.
Well, seeing where they're progressing, now that I understand why they went through and got his armor to him that quickly. Because you went through and broke up the clan that was sitting there by having the Mandalorians rescue him to protect Baby Yoda. And now he's going through and starting basically off a new journey of, instead of collecting a whole bunch of bounties, it's surviving and finding a spot and finding a way to protect Baby Yoda as they progress.
Yeah. We got 4 episodes left. We still haven't seen Moff Gideon. There's still some scenes in some of the commercials and footage we've seen that hasn't showed up in the show yet. So there's a couple more things going on. But I'm just really interested to see where they go with it. Like they, as much as I love Baby Yoda, they can't keep him around forever.
Oh, they'll keep him around till the last episode. And in the last episode, the cliffhanger is going to be somehow a bad guy has Baby Yoda, and he's going to have to figure out how to get him back. And he's going to be hurt or something like that. Come on, I know how these plot devices work.
Yeah, maybe.
Got to draw people in.
Kind of in game with Yoda, though. I think Cotman brought this up, and this is a theory that's going around. It would be amazing if he runs into Sabine, and at this point, she's probably traveling with Ahsoka, looking for Ezra. Now, Ahsoka would be an outstanding Force mentor or guide to young Baby Yoda. It would give those characters a live-action debut, which everybody would lose their shit over.
She would know the species, so she would understand the Force abilities. Yep.
Yeah, she would know how to guide him in the Force, and more importantly, that gets him out of the picture where he's safe. He is off doing his thing with Ahsoka and Sabine. Mando can go back to having awesome bounty hunter adventures.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I would like to see a live action Sabine.
Yeah, same. I kind of think we will.
I'm hoping, definitely hoping, and see actually how his reaction to Sabine would be, because technically she would be a princess of Mandalore?
No.
If her mom was ruler of Mandalore when it fell, wouldn't she be at least upper end of the clan? So it'd be kind of interesting to see how he actually interacts with Sabine.
Yeah, especially if there's some sort of like clan inner fighting there, it would be pretty cool.
Whether they're rival clans, whether they're in the same clan, and that she would be part of the actual upper end of the family.
And more importantly, we need to see the Darksaber.
Ooh, yeah. That would be very nice also. So, that's the Mandalorian for right now. Let's, what else do we got here?
Man, we did this way out of order. We got Resistance. It's still going on.
Yeah, I need to catch up on that. It's just really throwing me off that Resistance isn't on Disney Plus right now.
Yeah, it really needs to be. I don't know why it's not. I still like the show. It is such a different pace than Mandalorian, and that's probably my only other complaint or nitpick about Mandalorian is it's so tight because the running time's so short. Like every little scene means something to the point it ends up telegraphing something. Like, his whistling birds, you saw it 5 minutes later, he's killing people with it.
Yeah.
Everything's connected. Episode 4 did help that some. It kind of let him breathe a little bit. But
yeah, I kind of wish that instead of being a half-hour show, if it was a 40 to 45-minute show, I think it would alleviate that a little bit. It would let it breathe just a little bit more. But yeah, I want to go through and watch Resistance. I just haven't gone through and actually done it because it's on the Disney app, and I had to go through and do all that jazz. And I was hoping it would just show up on Disney Plus because, you pay for Disney Plus, all the other shows are there. Silly me for thinking Resistance would show up also.
It must be some sort of advertising issue. Where they got advertisers they have to do. I really don't know.
I don't know if it's that or they just because they started the season on the regular Disney Channel that they had to go through and kind of carry out with it. Either way, whatever.
Yeah,
I'll go back
it's like
through and watch it eventually. It just hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, it's got some good stuff, but like every like story that moves the narrative forward, there's two stories that don't do much.
Yes, it's like watching all the Japanese manga anime shows.
Right.
You go through and you read all the mangas so you know what the plot devices are and everything. It's like, hey, I had a 3-episode story arc that went along with the manga that progressed the plot line, and now I'm going to have 9 episodes of story arc that is just filler.
Right. But I don't know. I'm still liking it. New episode comes out tonight. I'll check it out, see what happens.
Yeah, and we were less than a month from Return to Skywalker. Definitely advise everybody to go through. Well, I shouldn't advise everybody. If you don't want any spoilers, you're pretty much going to have to avoid TV for the next month. Because there are ads and clips everywhere. If you like going through and seeing these little teasers of the new movie, go through, watch all these. They are amazing. There's new ads. There's new clips. The clips of the Knights of Ren are amazing with them silhouetted up over a mountain peak. So cool.
Yeah, definitely.
But
and, you know what's crazy is we can enjoy The Mandalorian and also look forward to the movie. Did you know that?
I didn't think they were one and the same.
If you like The Mandalorian, you have to hate everything else. That is the way.
That is the way.
According to the internet.
That is the way.
This is the way. Oh, speaking of the way, what's the way out of here? So, you have spoken. This is they know how to make a catchphrase.
They keep doing it every couple episodes. So
episode 2, man, we were coming out of there, man. Where is my I have spoken t-shirt? I'm gonna wear this for the rest of my life. Episode 3, nope. Give me my This Is the Way underwear.
They're gonna have you sloganed out by the end of the season.
I can't wait to see what next episode is.
Oh man. So yeah. Until we figure out that new catchphrase, let's get on out of here.
All right.
Appreciate everybody hanging in with us, enjoying this content. If you want to go through, give us any advice, any suggestions for the show, jump onto Discord, and we're in there 24/7. Really, there's always someone in there. Go through, drop us a note. We will see it and figure out how to incorporate it into the podcast.
Yeah, definitely.
That's all I got. You got anything left, Stan?
That's it. I am out.
You're out. All right. So until next time, guys. Later.
As you are exiting the cantina, we would like to say thanks for stopping by, and we hope to see you out on the hollow table soon.